Mecca, a city of power, trade and deeply rooted traditions. Situated within the arid mountains of Arabia, this city stood as a bustling economic powerhouse. Caravans from distant lands would wave through its narrow streets, their camels laden with precious goods, spices from Yemen, silk from Persia, and the exotic treasure from far-off Byzantium. The air was rich with the scent of incense and the calls of merchants bargaining in lively markets. But trade was not the only force that drew people to Mecca. Pilgrims, driven by ancient rituals, flocked to the sacred Kaaba. They circled its stone walls, seeking blessing, while the traders seized the opportunity to merchandise their products. Mecca was more than a spiritual sanctuary. It was a thriving center of commerce where faith and fortune intertwined. Yet beneath this vibrant economy laid a powerful social structure, carefully crafted and fiercely maintained by the powerful tribes of Quraysh. Each tribe held a vital role to Mecca's stability, ensuring that the wealth flowed, disputes were settled, and the Kaaba remained the heart of city's identity. To understand the influence and rivalries of these tribes, we must go back to the bloodline of a man destined to change the world. From the very beginning, the family tree of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was steeped in trials and divine favor, a legacy that would ultimately give rise to Quraysh, the custodian of Mecca. It all starts from a young man who, though destined to greatness, began life in hardship. Muhammad was born in Mecca without knowing his father Abdullah, who had passed away even before his birth. Abdullah never lived to see his son. Just days after marrying Amina, he set off on a trade journey, never to return. Muhammad was born an orphan, yet his story had been written long before his birth. Abdullah's own life had once been hung by a thread, nearly sacrificed by his father Abdul Muttalib as part of a solemn vow. In a desperate attempt to fulfill his oath, Abdul Muttalib was prepared to sacrifice his beloved son. But destiny had other plans. In place of Abdullah, 100 camels were offered in ransom, a colossal sum even to today's standards. But no amount of wealth could change the decree of Allah. Although Abdullah's life was spared, just days after his marriage, he was taken from this world, leaving Amina alone and expecting a child destined to reshape human history. From Abdul Muttalib, who moved to his father Hashim, a man of remarkable generosity, Hashim's foresight paved the way for the Quraysh dominance in trade. His marriage to a woman from Yathrib, later known as Medina, forged lasting ties between Mecca and this vital city. Yet Hashim's life was tragically cut short on a trading journey to Gaza, leaving behind a son Shaiba who was raised in Medina. But fate would soon bring this young boy back to Mecca, a journey that would place him at the heart of remarkable rediscovery, a story we will unveil in an episode to come. Before Hashim's time, another figure rose to prominence, Qusay, the man who reclaimed Mecca from Banu Quzah's control. Through wisdom and strategic alliances, Qusay established the Quraysh as the custodians of the Kaaba. His reform brought order to Mecca, turning it into a powerful and respected city, one that drew traders, pilgrims, and leaders from across Arabia. Yet the name Quraysh itself comes from an ancestor who lived generations before Qusay, the man named Fihr. His legacy became so revered that the tribe took his name, marking the beginning of the mighty Quraysh, a title that will come to symbolize power, unity, and enduring strength of the Meccan society. In Fihr's time, the seeds of Makkah's future greatness were sown, and his lineage would continue to influence the affairs of the city for generations to come. From Fihr, it moves to Malik, to An-Nadr, to Kinana, to Khuzaymah, to Mudrika, to Ilyas, to Mudar, to Nizar, to Mu'adh, and finally their lineage reaches Adnan, the last confirmed ancestor in the lineage before it continues to Ismail. This lineage is not just a series of names and events, it is a very backbone of Makkah's spiritual and political heritage. The trials and triumph of these ancestors remind us that even in the face of immense adversity, the seed of greatness are sown through perseverance, unity, and unwavering faith. In the generations following Qusay, the Quraysh family tree branched out into new tribes that would shape Meccan society and Islamic history in profound ways. Qusay had three sons, Abdul, Abdul Uzza, and Abdul Manaf, and it is from these sons that some of the most influential tribes of Makkah emerged. Abdul Manaf's lineage in particular would leave an indelible mark on history, as his son Hashim would lay the foundation for Banu Hashim, the very tribe into which the Prophet Muhammad would be born. The Banu Hashim stood as the custodians of Kaaba, entrusted with the sacred duty of caring for the house of Allah. Figures like Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib upheld this responsibility in the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. From Abdul Uzza's descendant came the tribe of Banu Asad. Among the notable figures from this tribe was Khuwailid, whose daughter Khatija bint Khuwailid would later become the beloved first wife of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another important figure from this lineage was Zubair ibn Awwam, one of the 10 companions of the Prophet who were promised paradise during their lifetime, known as Ashra-e Mubashshira. The eldest son of Qusay, Abdul, was entrusted with the custodianship of the Kaaba and honor that passed through his descendants. One of these descendants, Talha bin Usman, became a known figure within the Banu Abdul tribe. Though the tribe did not have many widely recognized members as some of its counterparts, they held a crucial role as the keepers of the key to the Kaaba, a responsibility that would continue through their lineage even into the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abdul Manaf's legacy extended further with his son Hashim, Nawfal, Muttalib, and Abdul Shams. Hashim, the founder of Banu Hashim, married into a family from Yathrib, later known as Medina, and although he died young in Gaza, left a son behind named Shayba. Hashim's brother Muttalib brought Shayba to Mecca, where he was mistakenly thought to be a servant, earning him the nickname Abdul Muttalib. Abdul Muttalib would later become the grandfather of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another son of Abdul Manaf, Muttalib's descendant, including his son Haris and grandson Ubaidah, would also play a significant role in Makkah's history, with Ubaidah famously stepping forward to duel at the Battle of Badr, along with Hamza and Ali. Another of Abdul Manaf's son, Abdul Shams, did not establish a tribe himself, but his son Umayyah established a powerful Banu Umayyah tribe. His two sons Abi al-As and Harb became well known. From Abi al-As descendant Uthman ibn Affan, the third caliph of Islam, while Harb's son Abu Sufyan became a prominent leader in Mecca. Abu Sufyan's son Muawiyah would later become the first Umayyad caliph after the reign of Khulafa'i Rashidun, the rightly guided caliphs. Banu Umayyah were the flag bearers for the Quraysh, known for their commanding presence in Makkah's politics. Thus, from Qusay's family emerged four key tribes: Banu Abdul, Banu Asad, Banu Hashim, and Banu Umayyah. Each tribe played a vital role in shaping the politics, trade, and social fabric of Mecca. Even within this vast network, the key of the Kaaba remained with Banu Abdul. In one notable instance, the Prophet Muhammad requested the key to the Kaaba for prayer, but it was refused by the tribe. Upon the conquest of Mecca, the key came into the Prophet's possession. Yet after cleansing the Kaaba of its idols, he returned the key to Banu Abdul, declaring that whoever took this key from them thereafter would be acting unjustly. To this day, the key remains with their descendants, a symbol of their lasting role in Makkah's history.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala غني عنا وعن جميع العالمين، ولكن إرادته سبحانه وتعالى أن يكون لهذه الكعبة باب ومفتاح وسدنة، واختارنا واصطفانا من جميع خلقه أن نكون سدنة لبيته الحرام.
Going back a generation before Qusay, we find his father Kilab, who had another son, Zahrah. The descendants of Zahrah gave rise to Banu Zahrah tribe. Among them was Haris, whose lineage would include important figures like Abdurrahman ibn Auf, another of Ashra Mubashara. Similarly, Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqas, one of the earliest and most respected companions of the Prophet, also hailed from this tribe. Another notable descendant of Abdul Manaf was Wahab, whose daughter Amina bint Wahab became the mother of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Thus, the interconnectedness of these tribes and the significance of their lineage laid the foundation for the social and political fabric of Mecca. From these bloodlines emerged not only tribal leaders and warriors, but also the very people who would shape the future of Islam, demonstrating how deeply woven these families were into the history of the city and the wider Arabian Peninsula. To fully understand the breadth of Quraysh tribe, one must trace the lineage of Qusay back to his forefathers. His father Kilab and grandfather Murrah, both father's sons who would become progenitors of distinct and influential subtribe. Murrah, the grandfather of Qusay, had three sons, Kilab, Yukhzah, and Taym. From Taym came a distinguished line that culminated in Abi Bakr, the first caliph of Islam, known for his steadfastness and unwavering commitment to Islam. Abu Bakr's leadership paved the way for the Muslim community to flourish. Talha bin Ubaidullah is another prominent Sahabi from Banu Taym, who is from Ashra Mubashara. In the moment of disputes, the people of Quraysh would turn to the tribe of Banu Taym, the guardians of justice. They determined the value of blood money and ensured disputes were resolved fairly. Abu Bakr, known for his integrity and compassion, carried out this role, establishing a reputation for fairness that would later define his leadership as the Caliph of Islam. Yukhzah's son Makhzoom established a tribe known for its military powers and powerful personalities. Among its most famous descendants were Khalid bin Walid, the celebrated general known as the Sword of Allah, and Abu Jahl, a staunch opponent of Islam. The line of Makhzoom also included Mughira, whose daughter Salama would later become the wife of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If Banu Hashim had spiritual influence and Banu Umayyah controlled politics, the Banu Makhzooms were Makkah's military mastermind. They managed the city's army, its camp, and its defenses. Despite their prominence, the Banu Makhzum produced no members of Ashra Mubashara. Murrah's lineage added another two tribes in Quraysh, making a total of 7 of the well-known and influential tribes of Quraysh. Going a generation up from Murrah, we find his father Ka'b, who had another two sons, Hussein and Adi. The descendant of Adi formed the Banu Adi tribe. From Adi came Razah, Qard, Abdullah, Riyah, Abdul Uzza, and Nufail. From Nufail's lineage emerged Umar ibn al-Khattab, the second caliph of Islam, renowned for his justice and administrative acumen. Another of Nufail's son Amr, father Zayd, whose son Sayyid bin Zayd became one of the Ashra Mubashara and the brother-in-law of Umar. Banu Adi served as the Quraysh ambassadors, carrying their influence beyond desert's edge. Umar bin Khattab served this responsibility for Quraysh at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The third son of Ka'ab, Hussein, left a quieter legacy. His son Amr fathered Jumah and Saham, both of whom established tribes that contributed to Meccan society. This tribe traces its lineage to Jumah's son Wahab, then to Khalaf, to Umayyah, and finally Safwan bin Umayyah. Umayyah ibn Khalaf here is the master who owned Bilal ibn Rabah, one of the dedicated early Muslims famous for his dedication for Islam. His son Safwan played a notable role in the early history of Islam and represented the tribe's influence in Mecca's politics. Banu Jumah managed the sacred arrows that were used in drawing the lot in time of uncertainty. This was a way and a custom for Quraysh to come to a decision in matters that required divine guidance. Saham's lineage included figures such as Amr ibn al-As, the renowned conqueror of Egypt. His family line from Hashim to Wa'il to al-As culminated in his exceptional leadership and diplomatic skills, which greatly contributed to the expansion of Islam during his time. Banu Saham controlled the city's finances and acted as the finance ministry for Quraysh. By the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 10 significant tribes of the Quraysh dominated Meccan society, each with its unique attributes and notable personalities. These tribes provided the city with a robust political and social structure, influencing trade, governance, and religion. Together, these tribes, descendants of Qusay, Kilab, Murrah, and Ka'ab, crafted a legacy that endured for centuries, shaping the identity of Mecca and the Quraysh tribe's place in history. Their stories intertwined with those of Islam's earliest days, reflecting the profound impact of their lineage on the faith and its followers.